Accents. Despite protestations to the contrary, I firmly believe that Indonesian accents its syllables in a coherent way. On the other hand, Indonesians themselves do not seem too perturbed about the many different ways Indonesian is spoken. Perhaps this is out of empathy, because chances are good that they too are one of the large majority of Indonesians whose first language is not Indonesian, but instead an unrelated regional language. In any event, here's the three-part general rule for accents. The accent, a soft accent, goes on the second to last syllable of the base. In example 1a, you have table, meja. However, the accent jumps to the last syllable if the second to last syllable contains an e with the schwa sound. So in example 1b, it's not keji, it's keji for vile. Every other syllable before and after the accented syllable is also softly accented so that the cadence swings faintly. In example 2, keji becomes menyajikan. And affixation does not perturb the accent pattern. So just in example 2 again, keji menyajikan. Here's how accent patterns play out in the two-syllable context for jemput, to pick up something, sabar, to spread, and the three-syllable context for bicara, to speak, and terjemah, to translate something. There's jemput, and if you affix it with mung, you get menjemput. There's sabar, and if you affix it with mung, you get menyebar. Right. Pronunciation of foreign loanwords. Indonesian often disregards its rules for pronunciation, syllables, and accents in order to retain foreign-sounding features of loanwords. Here are some of these foreign loanword exceptions. The E acute sound. So in example 1, Indonesia. Mung vowel is mung vowel instead of the standard pattern ny. Example 2e, it's mung ilustrasi. By contrast, the standard pattern br vowel to br is usually applied to foreign loanwords because it perturbs their pronunciation to a lesser extent. So, beraksi. Although foreign syllable and accent patterns are usually nativized, foreign patterns are sometimes retained. In example 3a, there's nativized pronunciation. So, nihilism is nihilism. 3b, economy is economy. And the foreign patterns retained in example 3c for tarantula. Although foreign spellings are usually nativized, foreign spellings of consonant clusters are usually retained. So in 4a, you have nativization of the spelling of sex. For B, you have retention of the sounds in a consonant cluster. So extreme is extreme. As a result, non-standard spellings that reflect how Indonesians pronounce consonant clusters pop up from time to time. Example 4c, you'll see film instead of film, and isteri instead of isteri. As described in the presentations about the affix system and grammatical registers, there are specialized spelling rules for the combination of mung and with single-syllable foreign loanwords and foreign loanwords that start with consonant clusters. So 5a is a single-syllable foreign loanword. Check becomes mungecek. 5b is a consonant cluster. Klasifikasi becomes mengklasifikasi. Measure words. A measure word is my name for words that indicate a specific quantity of something. For example, Akor and Tiga Akor Komodo, 3 Komodo dragons, and Kawanan in Tiga Kawanan Komodo, 3 groups of Komodo dragons. Measure words can be classified into 2 types depending on whether leaving them out changes the meaning. For example, Tiga Akor Komodo has the same meaning as Tiga Komodo, whereas Tiga Kawanan Komodo doesn't mean Tiga Komodo. However, I have no idea why we should care about this. Here are some key features of measure words. There are 3 commonly used measure words: orang for people, akor for animals, and buah for inanimate things. In addition, the table on the next slide lists many other specialized measure words that can be used instead of the default measure word buah. S replaces satu before a measure word. You'll see this all over the place. In example 1, satu akor komodo is sekor komodo. The adjective suatu, a certain, is often used instead of sebuah for many abstract nouns. Example 2a, suatu pertemuan, a meeting. Sometimes suatu and sebuah are interchangeable. So with kesimpulan in example 2b, suatu kesimpulan and sebuah kesimpulan, a conclusion. Measure words usually go before the noun, but sometimes show up after the noun for stylistic flourish. So, for example, usually, tolong belikan saya 2 kilo beras. Please buy me 2 kilos of rice. Could be reworked as tolong belikan saya beras 2 kilo. Measure words can be modified by indefinite numbers. So, example 4, beberapa ekor komodo, several Komodo dragons. Some measure words could be duplicated with ber to indicate indefinite quantities. In example 5, berkaleng-kaleng, minuman berenergi berkafein, cans and cans of caffeinated energy drinks. Here is an inventory for measure words. For example, pucuk for letters or rifles. So a letter, a written letter, is sepucuk surat. Cangkir for cups. So a cup of coffee is secangkir kopi. Take-home lessons. There are 2 exceptions to phonetic spelling. E has a regular schwa sound, as in duh, and a less common irregular E acute sound, as in me. Ka, pe, te, dull at the end of words. Indonesian strongly prefers CV or CVC syllables. The preference for CV and CVC syllables results in mung becoming m-ny when it is tacked onto bases that start with a vowel. For example, in example 1, mung plus ajar becomes mengajar, to teach something. Relatedly, affixation sometimes also results in pronunciation and spelling changes, as described in the presentation about the affix system. Indonesian accents the second to last syllable of bases. Affixation does not perturb the accent pattern. However, many speakers use different accent patterns. Foreign loanwords often break the rules in order to better approximate their original pronunciation. The 3 common measure words are orang for people, akor for animals, and buah for inanimate objects. Specialized measure words are sometimes used instead of buah. Suatu, a certain, is sometimes used instead of sebuah for abstract nouns. So in example 2, as we saw before, suatu kesimpulan, sebuah kesimpulan means a conclusion. Here's the outro joke. Grammar. This series of video presentations includes original pornographic material that illustrates key concepts in Indonesian grammar. The following scene includes dialogue that is composed of model sentences based on this presentation.